السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. The next hadith وعن أسماء رضي الله عنها أن امرأة قالت يا رسول الله إن لي ضرة. So Asma, she says that one day a woman came and she said, O Messenger of Allah, I have a co-wife. فهل علي جناح إن تشبعت من زوجي غير الذي يعطيني. Is it wrong of me if I tell her that I have received something from my husband that he didn't actually give me? Right? So what the woman is basically saying, this is a co-wife, and what happens is it's natural to feel some level of jealousy between co-wives. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed this up to 4. Didn't allow a woman to take more than one husband. This is absolutely forbidden in Islam. This idea of polyamory, which is becoming very common. I mean, more and more common, unfortunately, in America, is not something Muslims should support and think that somehow this is the same as what Islam has allowed. So if that was the case, by the way, men would also become jealous, obviously, probably way more jealous. But this is not allowed, so there's not a situation. So co-wives get jealous of each other, sometimes naturally. So this woman was asking, this is the same as what Islam has allowed. Echo. If that was the case, we can hear. No problem. Okay. So when it comes to this jealousy, she basically wants to make the other wife jealous and say, you know what, he cares more about me than he cares about you. And even children do this sometimes. So she's saying, I want to hint to her that he gave me a special gift that she didn't get. But it's not true. He didn't actually give me anything. So he said, am I allowed to do that? Something really, really small, Messenger of Allah. Would it count as being haram? Would it be a sin? فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, the Messenger of Allah said, المتشبع بما لم يعطى كلابس ثوبي زور. Says that somebody who pretends and claims that they were given something which they have not actually been given is like somebody who wears 2 false garments. Muttafaqun alayh. This hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim. And what 2 false garments means, wearing a false garment means that you're giving the wrong impression outwardly, but inwardly it's not the case. Like for example, somebody imitates a police officer and wears a police uniform. Right? They find out this person is not a police officer. This is a very serious crime because you're pretending. People would assume that you are, but you're not. Right? If you dress up like a doctor, and you're in a hospital, and you're walking around with one of those, those gowns or those lab coats or whatever it is, and you got the stethoscope around your neck, and you're walking around. People will think, "Oh, doctor, this doctor's here." You're not a doctor. You're pretending. So it says, in this case, if you did something like this, it would be like wearing 2. It would be a double false garment, because the type of lie that you're saying is that 1, you're lying about your husband. He didn't actually give you anything. And number 2, you're going and conveying that to the other wife in order to make her jealous. So Imam Nawawi put this in the chapter of Bab al-Hathi ala al-Tathabbuti fima yaqulu wa yahki. The chapter on verifying what is said and what is narrated. So on the one hand, it could have been in the chapter of lying. Don't lie. But on the other hand, Imam Nawawi specifically chose to not put this hadith in the chapter on lying. Instead, he put it in the chapter of verify things to make sure they're accurate, otherwise you'll get the false impression. So he decided, this hadith has both implications, but he decided this would be a great hadith here, and who is it addressing? Who is the main recipient of the moral of the lesson here by putting it in this chapter? Anyone tell me? So make sure you guys took your coffee, you're awake. Coffee has not been drunk yet. We should offer coffee at Fajr. Wouldn't that be awesome? Chai and coffee at Fajr. We get double the crowd. Agree? Someone should do this starting Saturday when I'm not the religious director anymore. It's on you guys. I'm putting the responsibility on you. Someone should start this, and Isha too. I'm just throwing out ideas. And you can't come to me and say, can you do it? I'm not the religious director. Sunday, you guys can start Isha. Who is this nasiha advising? Who's receiving it? Huh? Yes, thank you. The other wife who's burning inside and getting jealous and says, I can't believe this guy. he gave this to her, and she's dying. And Imam Nawawi is saying, remember, people have this natural tendency to make up these things and twist a little. Oh, he took me to Knott's Berry Farm, and he didn't take you. And actually, he went with a whole group of people. You were coincidentally the wife of that day, or whatever it may be. People will do things like that. So always verify, because if you don't verify, then you'll be thinking, oh man, this person did this person did that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from deception, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from being deceived. آمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. السلام عليكم.